Good morning, class 7. Today we will start with the first chapter of your civics, that is on equality. Before we begin the chapter, let's talk about equality. What is equality? When you ask to a layman, he will say that giving, treating equally. If you take your example, sometimes if you have a fight with your younger siblings, your mother or your father tells you that you are elder one, so you should be polite to her, even if it is her fault or his fault. Sometimes they ask you to it's compromise or accept because they are younger to you. Then you get this feeling that we are not being treated equally, right? So that is on a, like you can say, a smaller perspective we are taking. But when we talk about equality in a larger perspective, about in context to our country, then it is very different. Like for example, people, even if she is a maid at your house or a watchman, he or she has equal right of to vote. Like they can go to vote to their favorite representative, like your parents are going to vote, and they all have to stand in the same line. There is no discrimination whatsoever. So that is what we talk about, call equality is, right? So let's begin with the chapter India is a democracy. In class 6 book, we looked at the key elements of a democratic government. These include people's participation, the resolution of conflict, and equality and justice. Equality is a key feature of democracy and influences all aspects of its functioning. In this chapter, you will read more about equality. What is it? Why is it important in a democracy? And whether or not everyone is equal in India. Let's begin by looking at Kanta's story. Before we begin the story, like if there is like in front of law, there also we treat law in our country treats equally, irrespective of the caste, language, area or location. Like everybody is equal before law, right? So let's begin, see the story of Kanta. Isn't it good, Suja, that we all vote at sorry, we all vote as equal citizens of our country? Even Jain Sahab is standing in the line with us. Yes. Go on, Kanta. It's now your turn. I will vote for candidate who has promised to bring pipe water to our area. So Kanta is standing in a line to give her vote, and she is noticing that some Jain Sahab, maybe some affluent person, is also standing in the same line. So she is going to vote to the person who has promised that water pipe will be brought to her area. Well, see you, Kanta, later. Yes, namaste, Sahab. So that means maybe she is working for him. Gudiya has been running fever and I have to take her to the hospital. But I will have to finish the work at Sahab's house first and ask for some advance. Here, have some of this, you will feel better, and when I get back in the evening, we will go to the hospital, okay? So the other woman who was talking to Kanta, she is saying that her daughter Guria is unwell and she will talk to her owners where she is working, employer, and take advance to take her daughter to the hospital. It's no wonder that Guria falls ill often. The basti is never cleaned. So she is assuming the reason that why her daughter is unwell half the time, that is because the basti, the area where she is living, it is very like untidy every time. Equal right to vote. The story above begins with Kanta standing in line to cast her vote. Look again at the various people who are standing in the line with her. Kanta recognizes her employer, Ashok Jain, and Chote Lal, her neighbor. In a democratic country like India, all adults, irrespective of what religion they belong to, how much education they have had, what caste they are, or whether they are rich or poor, are allowed to vote. This, as you have already read in class 6 book, is called Universal Adult Franchisee and is an essential aspect of all democracies. The idea of universal adult franchisee is based on the idea of equality because it states that every adult in a country, irrespective of their wealth and the communities she he belongs to, has one vote. Kanta is excited to vote and happy that she is equal to all of the others because each of them has one vote. This is what I was telling you. A person who is 18 and above can vote to the person they feel like. But as a day goes, Kanta becomes less certain about what this equality really means. What is it that makes Kanta unsure? Let's take a look at a day in her life. She lives in a slum and has a drain behind her house. Her daughter is sick, but she cannot take the day off from her work because she needs to borrow money from her employers to take her child to the doctor. Her job as a domestic help tires her out, and finally she ends her day by again standing in a long line. This line in front of the government hospital is unlike the one in the morning because most of the people standing in it are poor. So, here Kanta initially she had the feeling that everybody is equal because or anybody from any caste or creed or from any background, that is rich or poor, has one vote. But then later in the evening she realizes that is there equality in reality. When she is standing in the line in the outside the government hospital, then she feels that all the like everybody who is standing there is poor. Kanta is one of many people who live in democratic India and who have the right to vote, but whose daily living and working conditions are far from equal. Apart from being poor, people in India experience inequality in different ways. Let us see what this means by reading the two stories given below. Each of these is based on real incidents in people's lives and reflect the different kinds of inequalities that exist in India. One of the more common forms of inequality in India is the caste system. If you live in rural India, your caste identity is something that you probably learned or experienced very young. If you live in urban India, some of you might think that people no longer believe in caste. But just look at these matrimonials shown from a leading English newspaper, and you will see how important the issue of caste continues to be in the minds of highly educated urban Indians. Now, see, like Alliance invited for 32 MMS 54 fair beautiful girl working in IT company Mumbai from BE, MBA boy working in Mumbai abroad from IT sector industry, caste no bar, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe excuse. That means a person from any other caste except these two can approach for the marriage. So they are trying to tell us that how often we say that we do not believe in the caste system, but it is still there in our system, and we like willingly or unwillingly we believe in the caste system. We try to portray things which is inside our jurisdiction, the caste, because we are scared of the social strata, the social structure which is there in the community, right? Then now let us read a story about the experiences of a Dalit child attending school. You have already read about Dalits in the class 6 book. Dalit is a term that the so-called lower castes use to address themselves. Dalit means broken, and by using this word, lower caste are pointing to how they were and continue to be seriously discriminated against. Om Prakash Valmiki, 1950 to 2013, is a famous Dalit writer. In his autobiography, Juthan, he writes, I had to sit away from the others in the class, and that too on the floor. The mat ran out before reaching the spot I sat on. Sometimes I would have to sit way behind everybody, right near the door. Sometimes they would beat me without any reason. When he was in class 4, the headmaster asked Om Prakash to sweep the floor, school, and the playground. He writes, the playground was a way larger than my small physique could handle, and in cleaning it, my big back began to ache. My face was covered with dust. Dust had gone inside my mouth. The other children in my class were studying, and I was sweeping. Headmaster was sitting in his room and watching me. I was not even allowed to get a drink of water. I swept the whole day. From the doors and windows of the schoolrooms, the eyes of the teachers and the boys saw this spectacle. Om Prakash was made to sweep the school and the playground for the next couple of days, and this only came to an end when his father, who happened to be passing by, saw his son sweeping. He confronted the teachers and then, walking away from the school, holding Om Prakash's hand, he said loudly for all of them to hear, "You are a teacher, so I am leaving now. But remember this much, master. He will study right here in this school, and not just him, but there will be more coming after him." So he is sharing his incident that he was when he was in the school, the headmaster asked him to sweep the playground and the school, and the teachers and the students, they were watching him. He did it for a couple of days, and it was stopped only when his father had noticed him, and he came and he said to the teachers that he is going to study in the same school, and not only him but other students also from his strata or background will be joining him in the school. The second okay, right, that is all for today, class. We will begin the second part of the second story in the next class. Please read the chapter. Take care of yourselves. Be safe at home. Thank you.